Hello and welcome to the session on the creating apps with Jetpack Compose. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about the basics of Jetpack Compose. Imagine a world where creating a beautiful and responsive UIs for your Android app is not only intuitive but also incredibly efficient. Well, the world is here and it's called Jetpack Compose. In next few minutes, we are going to understand how Compose is changing the Android app development by simplifying the UI development. So first we will think or first we'll see is what is Jetpack Compose. Jetpack Compose it's a modern UI toolkit designed as a part of Jetpack's library by Google. It allows you to build UI components using a declarative programming language model, which means you can describe what your UI should look like and Compose will take care of that rendering part. Also, Compose library which is built from the scratch. For the native UI, we use Kotlin APIs. It will be less code, intuitive, and it fits with the existing code base. Now, the question would arise is like, why Jetpack Compose? Like, if you are an already Android developer who's working with XML, Java, or Kotlin, you might wonder why do we need a new UI toolkit? So to understand, we need to go back a decade when the Android started. So when the Android started, the operating system was having a very small screen factor and that to limit it like 3 inches, 4 inches like that. And the time passed, then we had tablets, wearable devices, Android was using cars, and lot of things started changing. And then we had foldable phones, flip phones. So to support this and to add the modern UI components, we required a new library or new toolkit which was written from scratch to support the modern architecture. And then the Compose came in the picture. So how is Compose different from XML? If you are an Android developer, this question might arise. Let's see a side-by-side comparison. So XML, we know that it's an imperative UI. Various Compose follows the declarative UI pattern. In that XML, what happens? You focus is on how, like how your UI should look like, how it should react. But Compose focuses on what, like what exactly you want to display. If you go with XML, you will require to learn two languages at least, which is XML and Java or Kotlin. Various in Compose, you can everything you can do with just Kotlin. Some differences which might not matter as of now, but it's like theme files are written in XML in Manifest. Compose has it in Kotlin. The last part is not so easy state management. Basically, in XML, if you want to manage state, it's very difficult as you have already defined your layouts and views first, and then on the basis of your API responses or data, you need to manipulate, which is cumbersome. But Compose has the data driven pattern, which we will look in the next slide. So, how XML work is like if you get the data, and this is a simple if condition. If it is not empty, then you will use something like create adapter, or show the view, something like that. Else, you will show the error and handle the visibility. Various and Compose, it is more data driven. How? Because whatever the response is there, according to that only your UI will get created. So you don't have to handle the visibility and complex things. Also, the composable functions in the Jetpack Compose are annotated with composable annotation. After that, you can just write the function as the normal Kotlin function. Let's build our first Compose app. First, we will require Android Studio. If you have not downloaded, you can visit the link in the description or shown in the slide and download the Android Studio. Once it is set up, you can create a new project by using the empty compose activity because that will give us the basic skeleton to get started. So once your project has been built, your screen or the window should look like this, where you will have some kind of main activity with created theme, surface, and a basic greeting function which has a text component. And your theme file will look like it will have color, shape, typography, and sort of basic things. Right now, we'll just see from the overview like how exactly your theme file will look like. So your theme file has the color palette, light color palette, dark color palette, depending on your day and night mode. It will have the primary set of colors defined, which will be used across your app. So you can define the themes to apply consistent style across your UI and also use modifier to style individual component. This flexibility makes it easy to create visually appealing interfaces. So now once you have understood the theming part, there are some basic layout which are available out of the box. So here we can see column which is like on top of each other, row side by side, and box is like stack on each other. If you already have XML experience, you can consider column as your horizontal linear layout, row as a vertical linear layout, and box as a frame layout. If you want to create more complex layout, you can use constraint layout or even define your own custom layout. Now we will see some basic UI components which are available in the Jetpack Compose library, which includes text, button, image, card, top bar, floating action button. So those are the very basic example of the components available. Once you start using the Jetpack Compose, you will realize there are a lot of components which are available and which are also highly customizable. By just providing a parameter called modifiers, you can customize your component to very next level. We will just see a glimpse of modifiers. So what is modifier? Basically, modifier function that can be applied to UI components to modify appearance, behavior, or layout. They allow us to adjust the various aspects of components such as its size, background color, padding, textile, and lot of things. On the right side, you can see the basic example of modifier, how we can pass the parameters and properties, and then the modifier can be applied to the any of the component. So I think this is the basic which we cover in the Jetpack Compose very starting part of the session. So now we can understand like this is just the beginning of our journey with Jetpack Compose. I encourage you to keep exploring its feature and experimenting with different UI design and integrating it in your future Android projects. If you have any question, you can reach out to me or you can put down in the comment chat section. Thank you for watching this tutorial on the creating apps with Jetpack Compose. We will learn about this in more in the next session. For references related to Jetpack Compose, you can see or you can visit on those two links and read more about the same. Thank you once again, and I look forward to seeing incredible creations powered by Jetpack Compose and also in the next session. Till then, have a great day.